Hey, what's up you guys, Loco here. For you today, I have TSM versus Team Liquid. So Doublelift is sick with laryngitis, so Tactical, the Academy AD carry for Team Liquid, is going to be playing today. Funny history with Tactical, he actually was the TSM Academy AD carry until this year, and now he's a TL Academy AD carry. So he's also playing versus his former team, much like Doublelift would have been if he was playing. And Doublelift being subbed is very interesting, because Team Liquid's identity has revolved so heavily around Doublelift for the past 2 years, and they've actually been struggling with that exact same identity. While I feel like the stronger parts on the team like Jensen and CoreJJ and Broxa hasn't gotten to shine as much because they haven't been playing around mid lane as much. So this game should be very interesting, not in terms of can TL win or not, more so can TL actually play that new style, now that they are forced to play that new style without having Doublelift on the team. All the other fun parts about TSM versus Team Liquid still applies here. Andy versus Steve, I guess maybe not so much because Andy isn't as involved with the team anymore, but it is still the two most successful franchises in North America going at each other. So without further ado, let's get started with the draft. I really like the bans from Team Liquid, especially the Xayah and the Syndra. I think TSM has shown a reliance on the Xayah and the Syndra respectively. Syndra gives them a lot of early game priority, she also scales really nicely. Xayah Rakan, very comfortable champions for both Kabe and Bifrost, and also scales really nicely. And it fits into TSM's theme of we want to have control early, but also be able to scale later and be relevant in team fights. So taking those two champions off the board right off the bat from Team Liquid, I love it. As for TSM, they just went a very standard ban route of Orin, Aphelios, Yuumi. I think this is as cookie cutter as you can get from Res side and LCS on patch 10.4. These are the most OP champions, these are the champions that scale the most, these are the champions that are just really hard to deal with in team fight, so very standard, very typical ban phase from TSM. Team Liquid is going to lead with Set first pick. I think this has also been a very common first pick in the LCS. It can be flexed, but no one really flexes it other than TSM. And yeah, it's a really good top lane that's hard to abuse, and that also scales well into team fights. TSM replying with Varus and the Tahm Kench. The Tahm Kench I'm not in love as much. I think teams in NA can do a lot more to counter the Tahm Kench, but it seems like no one really wants to play range support, so Tahm Kench just gonna go unpunished like always. I do like the Varus pick. It is one of the more premier AD carries. Once the main ones are off the board, it gives you engage, it gives you lane priority. It does have problems with scaling, but that's when you really get to like 4 or 5 items, and the games are more so determined at 2 and 3 items, so it's not that big of a problem. I mean, rest of the pick and ban is pretty standard until we get to that Kale pick and then the Maokai pick, so let's talk about both. Kale is a potential counter pick into Set. I say potential counter pick because I do understand how it counters Set in theory, but realistically, there's a lot of problems that come with it. Kale isn't the best laner in the world, so you want to pick her into lanes that will be pretty free, and Set is pretty free for her, especially when she's able to hit level 6 and really get that range and not be a donkey melee champion anymore. And also, Kale's really good in terms of team fight against Set, because Set will want to pick someone up and try to isolate them from the rest of the team or drive them all the way into your team, and by ulting that target, they don't take damage. It doesn't matter if they're isolated, so that play pattern is really nice. Also, in terms of split push, the later on the game goes, the more and more so Kale is great versus Set in a side lane. So there's a lot of avenues where the Kale is better than the Set, but the problem is Set is way easier to play. And yeah, I mean, that's the biggest problem, right? Set is very easy to execute in teamfight, long as you're flanking. Set has the better laning phase earlier on in the game, you're going to have more priority. So on the Kale side, there is an onus to scale, and there is an onus to play better, and there's an onus to split push, which is very hard to do in North America for a North American team. And then the Maokai pick, so this one was definitely the strangest pick of the draft. In 10.4, they made changes to Sunfire. As you CC someone, you do like pulses of AoE damage, so it's indirect buff to Maokai, and that's why he's being picked. But the problem is, we've seen Maokai solo lane before, we've actually seen Maokai mid lane before, and that was when his ultimate was Giga Broken. It would give everybody in an AoE 20% reduced damage from everything but turret, which is crazy. So just anyone in that AoE takes 20% less damage if they are on your team. So yeah, it made Maokai an extremely odd champion, where he's very good in terms of flank, he's very tanky, he makes your entire team tanky, and he also did decent damage. Now that he doesn't have that ultimate anymore, he isn't as resource free, and he's more of a donkey tank, and you do have to build him more tanky, and you can't go that hybrid damage route that people used to go with Roa. Now let's talk about the win condition for both comps. The win conditions are actually very straightforward. Both teams want to be team fighting. I do think TSM has scaling on their side, but it's going to be way later on in the game before that actually matters. And also they have a split push flavor where the KO can really split push on the set, and TL needs to eventually send more than one person down there. So yeah, both teams have teamfight comps. Maybe a little bit of scaling aspect, split pushing aspect to TSM, but other than that, very typical North American draft. Now, let's get started with the gameplay. So Dardoch's jungle pathing was messed up by Jensen, much like Niski did versus FlyQuest, and he's going to be delayed, and Broken Blade really needs him up here. His wave is pushing away, and we have Broxa and Impact coming at him. Oh my god, that minion giving the stun for Impact, and Broken Blade gonna die while he's burning Flash, and Dardoch's just too late to help. This situation is really, really bad for Broken Blade. We talked about Kale having a really weak early game, and in a situation where you get your Flash burned and the wave is pushing away from you, I mean, Broken Blade's gonna TP here, and he's still gonna require jungle help. Yeah, someone needs to come and break this freeze. Really bad start for the Kale. So every competitive team in the world has been able to figure out, hey, Herald means much more than dragons. And instead of both teams trying to contest for Herald, what's been happening is the team that's weaker in the early game, or the team that did worse in the early game, takes Dragon, while the stronger team takes Herald, which Team Liquid's doing right now. They're ahead early, they have more priority, so they're going to take Herald while TSM gets Dragon. But TSM here kind of wants to contest for the Herald. They think Team Liquid is being too greedy with it, and they also had good vision on it from the wards they placed earlier. So TL gonna TP, make sure they just can't get this for free. Tactical coming up here. And yeah, TSM getting at it. Bio starting to come in, but he's gonna get slowed. And then he's gonna get drowsied. Oof, Bromwell to follow up. And then the Zoe Q, and he's gonna die. I mean, good attempt on TSM trying to keep TL honest. But yeah, TL was ahead. And the Herald was still a lot lower and almost done comparatively to what TSM thought. And also, the Tom Kench is very squishy early. We're also seeing teams do this much more. Just give up the early dragons. They don't mean that much. We feel like it's more valuable to stay in our lanes and just farm. And exactly what TL's doing right now. Tactical, getting the top lane turret. Jensen staying mid lane, getting the farm. Impact also staying bot and getting the farm. Just stay in your lanes, play for turrets, give up the early dragons. They don't mean that much. And let's start fighting on the third and the fourth dragons, where the dragon soul threat is actually really coming up. Here we're going to get our first big team fight of the game. Both Tactical and Kabe looking for damage on each other. Tactical and Core JJ going on Bio. TSM coming in with the double TP. Tactical flashing away from the Varus ult. Let's see how this plays. Bjerg came in. He burned Aftershock right away in a really dangerous spot. Gonna have to flash away. Ooh, I don't like this impact ult here. The Haymaker still did a lot of damage though. Really look at Jensen here. How this kill happened. You can see Biofrost has the Sejuani icon, which means he ate the Sejuani. Both Kabe and Dardoch were low, and the Jensen Q was coming in, and Bio actually ended up eating Sejuani, which left Kabe really vulnerable, and he's going to get one shot. I mean, Impact's also going to die here, but Impact still did his job. He got massive damage off on rest of TSM, so this is looking like a TL victory, at least for this fight. And yeah, most of the cooldowns burned for both teams. You can see all the summoners used. Jensen's gonna go crazy ham if there's another fight due to all the summoners on the ground. And TL gonna come out, I would still say ahead in this fight. They still should be able to get Dragon after. That's what TL's really here for. They don't want TSM to be able to get to 3 Dragon and be close to that soul point. Yeah, I mean, the combination of Braum and Zoe should really be able to defend this choke. When Zoe's shooting bubbles in that small choke leading up to Dragon, it's really hard for anyone to walk in. Ooh, Jensen getting a nice poke on Dardoch. Gonna be able to reset the blue and take it for himself, and yeah, TL able to take Dragon too. Very nice. I think this is where TSM lost the game, and I still can't really figure out what they were trying to do. If you see on the minimap, you can see that they don't have a lot of vision, and they're grouping up mid. Bio's gonna get chunked out by Jensen. They're gonna try to take mid turret. Tactics Goal's gonna clear it instantly with the MF ult, and they're gonna go on Kabe right here. Bio forced to use the eat. Let's just pause the fight right here and look at what's going on. Bio doesn't have eat anymore. Impact's flanking from the right angle. Brox is flanking from the left angle. TSM just does not have the defensive tools, and their formation's gonna get broken, and they had no reason to force themselves into this position at all. They could have kept Broken Blade in bot lane and had him constantly keep pushing and keep scaling against the set and pressuring him. The only reason TSM needs to group is if TL threatening Baron and they feel like they can take it. But if you look at their comp, it isn't a very high DPS comp versus Baron either. It's the Zoe, it's the Misfortune. So yeah, I don't know what the hell you're trying to do here, TSM. Why'd you push? Why'd you try to get the turret versus a misfortune? No idea. But let's let the fight play out. Greg is going on Kabe, him instantly dying. And Bjerg also gonna die too. And everyone else forced to burn flashes and run away. Yeah, TSM just threw the game away here for no reason whatsoever. So here we have TSM starting Dragon after TL was able to get Baron. Really look at impact here. He wins the fight by himself. He's going to ult Bjergsen into the rest of the team and stun Kabe and Bjerg into each other. While that's going on, Tactical is raining down MF ult on 3 targets on TSM, and Kabe needs to get eaten right away. At this point, Impact can go ham. He can punch whoever the hell he wants. He still has his W in case he gets focused to return the damage and also get all that shieldage. Yeah, the fight is just done. Impact played it so well, and also at this point, even though TSM has the outscaling comp, Broken Blade hasn't hit level 16 yet, and practical wise, especially the goal difference somewhere around like 7k, TSM is just so much weaker. Like, they can't kill Impact. I just don't understand what they can do. Like, this comp, for it to function, they had to stay in side lanes much longer and not let the game accelerate, but they purposely did that by grouping up mid lane a while ago. So anyways, let's watch how the rest of the fight plays. I just can only see TSM get wrecked here. Yeah, Impact in the middle of everyone. Woo, that grit shield. He's just not even threatened. I mean, everyone's dying, just running away. Dardoch gonna die also. Biofrost tried to ult himself and Kabe out, but Kabe didn't take the ult. He's gonna try to TP out. Ooh, Kabe actually did get out. And Jensen gonna finish off Biofrost by himself. That RW, got him. Nicely done from TL, and yeah, that's pretty much the game. TL has both mid and bot in it. Now they're just trying to end on TSM. I mean, yeah, Broken Blade's fine. Oh my god, he's actually not even level 16 yet. So he never really hit Super Saiyan 3 and reached that KO breaking point. Bjergsen trying to do something with his ult, but Maokai ult, when you use it like this, is pretty worthless. You need to be flanking. TL looking for poke damage with Joey. I mean, they're going on the set. It really does not matter. Yeah, he has Stone Plate. He's going to ult Bjergsen back. Ooh, that W. I mean, TSM buying some time with the KO ult, but it's still pretty meaningless. Yeah, they don't even have the damage to kill the front line of Core JJ and Impact. And that's how the cookie crumbles. Wow, TSM just played this game so badly. And Tactical gonna reach 100% win rate in LCS for now. I love that TL was willing to fight for the right objectives like the Herald early game and let go of the Dragons, and they actually just team fought a lot better than TSM did. I don't know what the hell TSM was thinking when they grouped up mid lane. It was actually just Giga Int. I'm okay with the Maokai experimentation, but if you are playing Maokai, you need to be flanking a lot more. I don't know why they were so willing to do that 5-on-5 fist fight where you have 5 people on one side, 5 people on the other, and you're just going in there without any kind of flank or without any kind of creative engages, and also not waiting for the Kill level 16. Kill needs to be in a side lane, and she constantly needs to farm and get that XP. TSM just had a really bad read on what they needed to do with their comp. Do I think TL is better without Doublelift? No, that's an overreaction. I do think once Doublelift comes back and they're still able to keep this style, they'll be fine. But if it's Doublelift forcing the 2019 way of play onto TL, then yeah, I do think they will be better without Doublelift. But he does know that things are wrong with the team, especially given the results, so I can't see him being stubborn. I hope you guys enjoyed this recap. Let me know if you have any questions down below. I'll do my best to answer them. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Oh, one last thing, I'm not crazy, I'm just loco. Bye!